Hi everyone, back to the more YouTube channel. It's Chris back with the match preview for Newcastle United's upcoming game against Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. What a happy hunting ground that is for Newcastle United. Probably gives you the tone of how I'm thinking this game is going to go. But we're going to get stuck into this, talk about how we think the team's going to line up, talk about the threats of Man City, how we feel we can maybe get at them, and obviously how we think the game is going to go as well. Before we do that, a little reminder, if you haven't already, smash subscribe, help us to the next milestone, which is 13,000. We're only about 300 away, thanks to all you lovely people who click the button during the lives and the previews for the Carabao game, and that's really appreciated, and hopefully we'll get there very, very soon. It's all free content, nevermore. But if you do want to become a member and support the channel, there's an option down there below for you as well. You get exclusive content as well as the invite to our Discord group chat, which is very nice, very calm, not like social media platforms these days where you get attacked for having any kind of opinion, which we've even seen in the wake of the unbelievable victory against Carabao midweek in the Champions League. But let's get stuck into this. So, Newcastle United are in a good vein of form here. We've won 3 away games on the spin, against questionable opposition in Spurs. They sacked the manager the day after. They were having a shocking season, really, so far. But they're still classed as, I suppose, one of the big six, if you want to look at it in that way. They're not really, haven't been for 2 or 3 seasons now. But Aston Villa away was a massive victory for Newcastle United. And Carabao, they got the job done. Levels were massively there in the first half. But you can only beat what's in front of you. And it's 3 impressive performances from Newcastle. 3 very different performances from Newcastle United, but massive goal return in the Carabao game of the Champions League. Confidence. Anthony Gordon smashing in 4 goals as a centre forward. Maybe suddenly he's realised how to finish. I don't know. We'll get stuck into that and we'll talk about that in the lineup as well. But Manchester City is a very different task in a very different game. This is an unbelievable side. This is second in the table for Man City versus 10th for Newcastle United. They've got unbelievable players no matter who plays, no matter who's injured, and we do not have a good record there. As a matter of fact, our last 20 games at the Etihad, I think we've only drawn 2 and lost 18. So we don't have a great form guide against Manchester City, and I'm not sure that's going to really work any better, in all fairness, when it comes to the weekend. But we'll get stuck into that. It's a Saturday night 8 o'clock kickoff again. I hate these games. I hate these kickoff times. They're awful. If you go into the game, it's shocking because chances are by the time the game's finished, you've missed the last train out of wherever you are to get back home. So you've got to pay hundreds of pounds to get a hotel, or you've got to drive through the night. It's the dark roads and shitty roads with potholes and all that stuff and bad weather conditions. And it's just an awful kickoff time. It really, really is. I get you've got to squeeze in all the European football and all of this stuff as well, but 8 o'clock on Saturday night, man. You should be in the pub talking about the game, not at the game, watching the game or watching the game, on the TV in the house or in the pub. It's not too bad if you're in the pub, I suppose. It's a bit easier than it is when you go into the game, but you know what I mean. 8 o'clock is a crap time for a kickoff on a Saturday night, but that's the kickoff time we've got once again. Is this the 3rd kickoff we've had at 8 o'clock at night? I think it might be. But anyway, we'll get stuck into this. So how do I think the team is going to line up? Well, I think Eddie Howe has almost stumbled upon a really good away shape with the lineup that I'm going to pull up right now. And this is how I think he's going to go. I think it's going to be really similar to the lineup he played at Villa Park in the FA Cup, to success, and to Carabao for success as well. I think he's going to go for a 4-2-3-1. We're going to have Nick Pope in goal, Kieran Trippier continuing right back. He's looked a lot better last couple of games, Kieran Trippier. Yes, Spurs were awful. Carabao were kind of part-timers, but he's looking sharper. He's looking fitter. He's whipping in some good crosses again. Maybe Kieran Trippier isn't as done as some of us may thought he was, but he is getting on a bit. And I do worry about pace, especially in this Manchester City team, especially if Mamouche plays, because he loves a goal against Newcastle. He just turns up and becomes Ballon d'Or winner. Ballon d'Or! Ballon d'Or! Ballon d'Or! When he plays Newcastle, I fully expect him to play in this game as well and be a threat against Trippier and the rest of the back four. But the rest of the back four kind of picks itself. Malik Chow and Dan Burn as the centre-halves, and Botman still out, still injured as far as I know. Even if he's got a chance of being fit, he'll only make the bench. Lewis Hall, left-back, who's absolutely class. Will he shake Pep's hand again? I don't know. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. Maybe Lewis Hall tell him to fuck off again. I did love that with St James's Park. But yeah, Lewis Hall, left-back, who just looks better and better every single game that goes by. The midfield two of Sandro Tonali, who's come back into a vein of form, with Jacob Ramsey, who's really started to show the kind of player that we thought we signed. Energy, aggression, box to box, and ability to get goals as well. Jacob Ramsey will be massive for us in this game against this Manchester City side. Then the 3 across will be, I think Anthony Elanga will get another start. Potentially could be Jacob Murphy coming in there. He got his goal midweek against Carabao, so maybe he'll change it a little bit and bring Jacob Murphy back in for his defensive capabilities. Then Nick Voltemade is still continuing that kind of 8.5, 10. What is he? We don't know, but he's in there. He's got good feet. He's an option. He can slow the play down. He can pick some nice passes out. He's doing well there, Nick Voldemort. He is. Is he a centre forward? Is he that? I don't know. I can't tell whether playing him here is helping him or hurting him. I think we're only going to know in the long run, really. But he's certainly getting more of the ball, seeing more of the ball, and being more of a threat. But I think Barnes on the left-hand side as well. And I think we'll have to have somebody with pace to lead the press from the front. And it'll be Anthony Gordon, in my opinion. It's either going to be Anthony Gordon or Willis Sula. And I think Anthony Gordon, after 4 goals, midweek in the Champions League, man of the match performance, breaking records, confidence sky high, even though the penalty thing was a little bit of a blip, I suppose. But they came out and handled it really well, him and Trippier. I think Anthony Gordon will relish this game, and he really will be wanting to lead the line against Man City and show what he can do against one of the big teams in the Premier League as well, because Gordon has not hit the same heights in the Premier League as he has in European football. Gets a lot more space in European football. He's even said that himself, Gordon. In the Premier League, everybody sits in low blocks. It's all about long throws and set pieces, defensive structures and shapes, whereas in the Champions League, it's a little bit more open play. There's a little bit more freedom for a player like Gordon to find that space. So he does find it hard in the Premier League. And I think Manchester City can be got at the back as well. But Gordon will be full of confidence going into this game. And if he's ever going to stand up and really put in a proper good shift up front in the Premier League, it's got to be after he gets 4 goals midweek. Now, all of that said, that's a positive team. It's got pace, it's got energy, it's got quality. With Sandro Tonali and Nick Voldemort's ability to keep the ball, quick feet, good close control, nice range of passing as well. The pace of Elanga and Bonds, and behind the goal threat of Bonds, and Gordon as well, if he's still on a vein of form. Trippier's delivery, Hall's quality to get up and down the line. Do I think that's going to be good enough to beat Manchester City? I'm not sure, to be brutally honest with you guys. I'm just being a realist here. I think Man City are an incredible side. We'll have a look at their team news as well as their injuries before we get stuck into their lineup. So the long-term absentees in this game, Gvardiol is still out, as is Kovacic. They're out for a long time. Doku and Savinho may be fit to return, which is a concern because Doku was absolutely class. He's like Alan St. Maximin with a final ball. Just to cheese all up as well, Erling Haaland missed the FA Cup win over Salford with a minor niggle, but he should be fine to play against us as well, which is great, isn't it? Well done. Thanks, Haaland. Thanks for being fit for this game. Really appreciate it. But Marmoush is the one I'm concerned about. He scored 4 goals in 2 home games against us, netting a hat-trick in this exact fixture, which was 4-0 last season, and he got a brace in the EFL, which, you remember, I lost my head a little bit in that, but less said about that, the better. So he could play up front, either in place of Haaland or alongside Haaland. I think Semenyo will probably start this game as well. They've just got a brilliant side. They've got a brilliant side. We're missing Bruno, we know that. Tino, Fabian Schär, Emil Kraft is done, I think, at Newcastle. He's never coming back, I don't believe. Miley's still out with his dead leg, stroke thigh injury. Botman, Vissa's injured as well. So, we are missing a lot of players in that regard. But Joe Litton's back, which is good. So it's good to see Joe Litton back. I don't think he'll start this game. But in terms of the Man City predicted lineup that I'm looking at here from this website, which is Sportsmore for reference. So they'll go Donnarumma and goal, Nunez, Ruben Diaz, Mark Gahey, long-term Newcastle target, never signed him. Aït-Nouri at full-back. Then they'll have Rodri and O'Reilly in midfield, Bernardo Silva, Shirky, Semenyo, and Haaland. They've gone here. I think Marmoush might play in this game. I think he'll possibly play either instead of Shirky or Semenyo, possibly. I think Marmoush will come into this lineup. So I just think he loves playing against Newcastle, and Pep will know that's his game. And I think he will play him. So this is going to be really, really difficult for Newcastle United. Where can they get a little bit of space? I mean, you've got to look out wide, obviously, with Nunez playing at right back there. He's not really a right back. He's kind of filled in there. He's a midfielder, and he's kind of a midfielder makeshift fullback, a bit like Lewis Miley had been for us. So if Harvey Barnes is on a game and he can pull out there and he can tuck inside and he can take him for a little bit of a spin, then that could be a real threat for us. And if Gordon pulls out there as well, he's got a threat of Gordon and Barnes out there, doubling up on the left-hand side with Lewis Hall in the overlaps. That could be somewhere where we maybe get a little bit of change in that regard. With Gordon's pace as well, Gahey's quite quick. Diaz is not slow, but he can be got at with pace, so Gordon could find some space in between them two potentially. Again, if Elanga plays with his pace, I think I'd fancy him to burn Aït-Nouri off as well. He's not a slouch, but Elanga is so rapid. That midfield looks strong. Rodri and O'Reilly's a good player as well. I think Tonali and Ramsey have got to be aggressive on the front foot, strong with the press, to really get in there and win that midfield battle. And that's the only chance we've got of getting anything out of this game. But even if all of that is at the top of its game, that team is a very difficult team for us to beat. There's something about this fixture that these guys just turn it up a level when they play against us. And and I'm not sure we're going to have enough to win this game, guys. So I hate to say that. I'm going to go for a defeat in this game. But do you know what? If we see a performance, I don't mind losing to a team like Manchester City in full flight if you put in a shift and you play well and you make a game of it. And that's what I want to see from the lads. If we lose this game, say 2-1, which I think will probably be the score, but the lads have really put in a shift, have really shown up and pressed City all the way, made them work for that win, then I think that's good confidence to go into the Everton games and the Manchester United games coming up as well at home at St James's, where you'd fancy us if we're in this vein of form to get something out of. But this fixture, I think, is a real difficult one for us. It's one that we're always struggling, and it's one that Man City just seem to have the edge over us in this one. And I just don't see that changing, unfortunately. I know the form is good, the confidence is high. Some of the players are really stepping up and playing above the levels, that there were a few months ago, but I just don't think we've got enough in that side to beat this Manchester City side at home. I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to be wrong before anyone starts accusing me of being negative in the comments. I'd love Newcastle to win this game or even get a good draw, like a 2-2 draw or something would be a good point for us at the Etihad. And again, fill us full of confidence for these games coming up. But I think there's more chance we'll probably lose it. But if we lose it narrowly and we play really well, I'll almost be not happy, but I'll be impressed, and I won't be coming on whinging and moaning about how Newcastle were levels away from Manchester City. They just got, the rings run around them and everything else. I don't think we'll get that. We seem to be stronger, and we seem to be more focused, and we seem to be better structured and in a better shape than we were when we played that return leg in the Carabao Cup. We were rotten for large spells of that game. City could have and should have really been able to 3 or 4-0 up in the first half an hour in that return leg. And since then, there has been some soul searching from the players. The managers probably put a rocket up their arse by the looks of it. They've gone back to basics. They've changed the shape a bit. He's broke away from the rigid 4-3-3 and he's discovered this 4-2-3-1 formation. It's working. It gives more shape. It gets the pacey players engaged. It allows Volta to get on the ball and try and do something while Bruno's not there. It gives us that technical edge as well. Somebody who's good with the ball at the feet. So maybe we've got a good chance of making a fist of this game. But I still think Man City will have too much for us and they'll probably win the game 2-1. But let us know in the comments below what you guys think about our lineup. Do you think that's spot on? Would you make any changes? Would you keep the shape that seems to be working away from home with this 4-2-3-1? Or would you go back with 4-3-3? Would you go for a 5-3-2 even? Let us know what you think in the comments below about the shape and how we're going to line up. Do you think we're going to win this game? Do you think we've got enough to win this game? Do you think the recent performances, the recent results, the new formation away from home, can Newcastle go to the Etihad and get a result? Or like me, do you think it's probably going to be one step too far? These are just too good of a side. They've got our number a little bit. We haven't won in, 20 games really against them, in all fairness, in this fixture. But do you think we could break that hoodoo on Saturday night? Rotten kickoff time again. Let me know what you think about the kickoff time. Shocking, man. Shit kickoff times. There'll be kickoffs at fucking 10 o'clock at night soon. They really will. They're just dreadful. Fucking dreadful. I know other side of the world, a lot of our fans are all over the world and they have to watch things at 4 a.m. But UK time, 10 o'clock kickoff at night will be fucking ridiculous. It really, really will. But let us know what you think about all of that. We always like to hear from you. We always like to talk about football. We all want to talk about Newcastle and have a good crack. Keep it above the belt. There's no reason to be a prick. If you are, we'll just bin your comments off. No one's going to get upset about them on this channel. We'll just get rid of them. If you can't talk sensibly and have a nice debate about football, then just don't bother at all. But if this is the kind of thing guys like, subscribe, help get us to the next milestone. I'll be back behind the mic on Saturday night after the City game, come whatever the result, and we'll have a good chat about what the hell transpired at the Etihad. Have a belter. I'll see you later. Cheers.
Heroes celebrate. They have done it.